Hi guys, this is Ranger Rob and welcome to the Ranger Rob Country Living channel. I thought it'd be time, since we got so many new subscribers and stuff, that I'm going to do a wintertime tour of our 5 acres. I'll kind of tell you some history about it too as we go, but this is our main road out here, and we have a deer fence that covers about two and a half acres of this property. But there's much more, and we'll get down here a little farther and you'll see once you get past the deer fence we have another 2-acre area on the side that we just cleared, and it will kind of make sense as we go. So this is the front of our property and we have an electric gate in the front, and keeps our puppies out of trouble. Come on, Belle, let's go guys. And they're listening to me so well. So when you first come here, you wouldn't think that we have much farming stuff going on here other than the big large gardens we have over here, but I'll tell you more in a minute as soon as I get my puppies back in here. Alright, I got my puppies back in. So in the front here is where we keep our 5th wheel, and we also have grass here, grass on the side, grass in the front of the house, grass on the side there, and also a big area of grass in the back. It takes us about 2.5 hours to mow our lawns. So this time of year, once again, we're doing a winter tour, so things aren't very green, but it'd be kind of nice that you can look at this and see what this place looks like 6 months from now, well, less than that, and it'll be amazingly green and luscious. But so we keep our 5th wheel over here. I did hook up have a 50 amp plug put in on the side of our shop, so that's completely at full power. So when we have friends over to stay with us, they can use all the amenities of the 5th wheel. We also started bringing hay in. I've just been having it here because we also told people if they need to buy a bale of hay or something from us, we have it available here. And we sell that for $19.95 a bale. Anyway, just for quick, easy pickup, and it's a little bit more affordable than the stores. So hey, if not, trust me, we'll be using it. The front here, we actually just lost a tree, an old pine tree, which was okay because we were thinking about cutting it out anyway. So a windstorm decided to make that happen a little faster. So our shop is a 3-bay shop. And in the very back is kind of like a barn. So when we bought this is Sherry's folks own this property. We've lived here before. He passed away about 3 years ago, so we bought the place, and Sherry's mother is in assisted living in Redmond, Oregon. So we take care of her and do caregiving, and we started that from Arizona. Well, and we've lived here before, so we ended up buying the place, bringing Sherry's mother up here so she could be in familiar area and stuff. And besides the 5 acres here, throughout the years I've helped do some of the projects Jay had when he was here to put this together, so I kind of know this property really well. So Neva and Jay, the people that lived here before, were more into flowers and stuff, so there was really they didn't grow vegetables, they didn't have animals on it at all. So all the work we've been doing and infrastructure has been pretty much to help support animals and large gardens. Behind here, we'll go back here in a little bit, but the other thing is we do have our own well. And I do want to show one thing that we did add, and all these are subtle things but very expensive, is for those who've been watching this for a while, we're semi-preppers. I just like to be prepared for a couple of months in case we have some hardship. But I had a bypass system put on our well house here, so I can actually bring a generator right here and run as water, no problem if I lose our power. But later on, I kind of like to have the same system put on the house. So about a year later, I had an electrician come in and do the same thing on the house itself. And we have a bypass system that allows us to shut off all the panels, shut off all the power, switch over, plug in a generator, and then go from the master switch to the master switch of the generator. And we can, I don't have a giant, I only have like a 5,000 generator, but I can run like all of our minor systems, like computers and pellet stove and stuff like that, on that through this system with the putting the generator right out here. And so it's kind of nice if I ever needed it, never had to use it before. I also have a little generator that when we have lost power, it's just a little 2000. A lot of times I'll just run an extension cord into the house to turn on the pellet stove and keep the aquariums warm, and just kind of minor little systems. So yeah, so that was one of the things we did to this house right away. We also right away put new siding on here, so we put the hardy plank on here, and we put a new roof on here too. So yeah, we'll put quite a bit of money into infrastructure. The house itself it definitely needed it. And here's the other side of our shop, and that back area is actually the barnish area back here. So I guess I'll go this direction. So we're going to stay within the 2 acres that has a deer fence. And trust me, it's really nice to have a deer fence. And a little farther down here, we're just at the end of the barn area and our shop. Here's where we started changing this over to livestock and chickens and stuff. So for those of you last summer, we kind of experimented with a free-ranging system with our chickens. And Jay did put some flower stuff in here, but some trees, but it wasn't, you know, anything, nothing edible. And we also built a mobile chicken shaw, which will now be put to work over in a back here, because now that there's our deer fence stops right here, but you can see our property goes farther than that, and it's L-shaped. And my little piggies are being grumpy today. So our first project was to build a little garden here. And you got to remember, once again, it's winter time, so everything's needs cleaned up and redone here. But we usually grow Walla Walla onions here. I also discovered hydroponics. So nothing's running right now, but the hydroponics is like a little waterfall system with nutrients in it. And so I have one with a trellis system, and one this was my first one, the big one. And we're actually going to take that one down because it grows food too well. So yeah. But anyway, it's kind of fun, and we've done corn in here, and I think we're going to do corn in this area again. So we also, Jay really never did anything with the property back here, and we still got, we may be putting another greenhouse in the future or something. And this is the green, right after we built that, when we put in this greenhouse. We've never built a greenhouse before, but we built it and it came out pretty good. For those of you who have been watching our channel a while, this is where we do all of our hydroponic tomatoes. Once again, it looks terrible because it's winter, but you have to use your imagination, or go back in the future 6 months in our videos and you'll see this all lush and green. But about 1 more month, we'll be coming in here, ripping out everything, changing out the Dutch buckets, hydroponics, redoing and cleaning out all the floating rafts, get it all shining clean in here, and we start the whole process again. So yeah, this greenhouse is amazing when we got it fired up. So I also just saw a mouse. So yeah, apparently mouse has found my greenhouse, which I don't blame them. But anyway, guys, let's move on. I actually kind of lied. The first project we did was the chicken coop, and actually we're very happy with it. It came out, we did a hoop coop and a chicken house combination, and it has just worked wonderful. The other thing we did and started adding is compost piles. So it works out good when we're cleaning out the chicken coop. It goes right into the compost piles and so forth. We also have a chicken tractor that's actually going to go back to work. Next, we got our new meat birds coming in, and this will run along the ground, and we're going to run it on this grass back here, which we've done before. And you can see it doesn't damage the grass at all. It looks bad during the time they're using it. And yep, there's some piggies right there. And anyway, we're going to run them in this part of the grass. This is kind of the roughest part of our grass back here. But yeah. Anyway, that's you can see how we've done the deer fence all the way around here. And it's been really great because when Sherry's parents owned it, like I said, they did a lot of flowers and stuff. And first thing I realized is the deer devastate everything. The center section used to be pretty much just flowers and irises, and we changed it over to leaving the irises in here, but we added Mr. Stacky planters here, and we do hydroponics, and we've been doing strawberries out of here. Well, we've been doing strawberries in the new area I'm going to show you here in a minute. So I gave this over to Sherry to put flowers in this year, and we'll probably still do them by hydroponics. And more grass, of course. And you can see the house has all been redone with new siding. I even got some of the old hardy plank stuff leftovers still back here. But yeah, it came out really good. The big project we did last year was we took one of these big areas that had grass. Now, instead of 3 hours of mowing lawns, now it's like 2.5. We took this whole grassy area and brought the pigs in last year, tear it up, and then we broke it off into sections where we did above ground gardening. The center section is for your ground kind of plants, and then we wanted a nice controlled area to grow corn. And then we tapped into the watering system that's already on the property. We have a 16-channel watering system all within the what we call the oasis area, and so everything we grow in here is on an automatic water system. And then we have kind of like a little camping area here to enjoy a fire and have folks over, and we've never used it. And in here is all lush and green. Yes, those are aspens. And he brought them in barrels, as you can see, but you can see he never took them out. So now we got these giant aspens with barrels around them. And they're kind of cool looking, so I kind of left them. And of course, the last thing I didn't show you is we have a pond, which was actually built by the original owners 20 some odd years ago. Probably getting closer to 30. And Jay, my father-in-law, built the little waterfall. And then last year, you can see we actually refurbished this whole pond, and she's running really good now. So yeah. And if I had a chance to change things a little bit, I think I'd make sure and move this away from the house a little more. But oh no, it's a beautiful little pond. So let's work our way to the back. So there's always projects going on here for infrastructure. Got lots of fencing and gates and stuff for projects out here. Right now, our biggest, since it's winter, we have an L-shaped area on the outside of our 5 acres. And we pretty much cleared all of it on this part, but this side was completely with sagebrush in it and stuff. And if you watch the videos from a week and a half ago, you'll see that we had that finally done and cleared. So now we're just doing burn piles. And we're going to go to the outside of the deer fencing now, so you can see what we're doing out here. All right, so this is the first part of the 2.5 acres that we haven't been using. It was sustaining our pigs for now, but that's starting to change. So we keep our adult pigs or breeders over here. These are feeders that have been ordered by some of our clients, and also some of the ones that we're raising for USDA. And these are all Idaho pasture pigs. So we still got more infrastructure. We're setting up 2 areas for farrowing or for babies, and we want to be able to rotate our pigs a lot so we can have really clean paddocks all the time. Also, we have a boar, which as time has gone by, the more we're learning that there's life is different when you have a boar. So he's getting a whole new area of his own. We just got to finish putting some electric in it. It's ready to go, but we've been leaving our boar over here with the 2 girls to let him have some breeding time with them, which should give us piglets in April. So the land over here doesn't look like it's been cleared, but it has been, because he didn't bulldoze it. He actually plucked it. So we have these. Now we just gained another 2 acres that we haven't been able to do anything with because we had so much sage in it, and now it's all cleared. We did have some pigs back here last year, and they cleared it out pretty good. But bring you back here a little more. It's now we're just focusing on burning down these piles. We got started on it, but we've had a couple of windy days, and we don't want to be burning on a windy day. But all this has been cleared, and now we can start putting paddocks in it. So yeah, it's pretty exciting actually, and dogs like it. They're having fun. What you doing, Belly Bell? Where'd she go? There she is. Belle, hey baby, what you doing? So yeah, our dogs are really lucky. They got the 5 acres to play in, and it's all fenced off now. We had that done last year, and as you can see, when you got a homestead, you're constantly building infrastructure, and you want to think it through a little bit. Very first thing we had to do was fence the outside 5 acres, and before we could even do any of this. So when a pig gets out, you probably wonder why I don't panic. Is because it's the whole 5 acres is now fenced in. So if I get a pig that gets out, they don't go far. So yeah, so you can just kind of imagine an L shape here in the outside, which gives us 2.5, 3 acres, something like that. And that's a lot of room, guys. And don't think you have to buy 20, 40, 60, 100 acres to have a homestead. 5 acres is plenty. You can do a lot with 5 acres. We'll never use this whole thing. So yeah, and all the neighbors around us all have 5 acre lots, and it feels quite secluded. So, and definitely private. And of course, for those of you who need to know where we're at, we're in Central Oregon, so we live in high desert. So these are not pine trees, these are junipers. And pine trees are sporadically in here, but it's mostly junipers. And they're a pretty tough, hardy tree, but they take a long time to grow. So you notice that we didn't pull down any trees when we had this cleared. Besides, it makes great protection for our pigs and gives them lots of shade, because it does get pretty warm here in the summers. Like we're about 3,600 feet high in altitude, and so it's not terribly hot, but the middle of the summer can hit the hundreds. So we keep our feed here. We don't have regular water systems out in this back acreage. but we got hoses running all over the place and electrical cords. So in the future, that'll change someday. But you just do what you can while we can. I guess I'll leave this gate open because I got my two dogs enjoying the back acreage. But yeah, that's kind of a tour of the property. And if you have any questions about how we do things here, you have to use your imagination. You got to remember, this is winter. So when summer comes along, if I did the same walk, you'd hardly recognize it. So you just got to keep the faith to know that this is going to be a beautiful green oasis inside here. And the outside here will be a very organized paddock system for our pigs. And here we'll be selling. We sell pork from this location. We sell beef, but we don't grow the beef here. We have it grown at another farm. However, as long as they meet our standards. And you'll soon see us doing meat chickens. So I hope you enjoyed that tour. House-wise, it's a 3-bedroom house. I think it's 1,700 square feet. I think the only thing unusual, and yes, it's a great place to clean your boots off here with Cinder's pool, is the one thing that is unusual about this house is it's what they call a dare house. It was built by a company called Adair. And this part of the house here was added on. I was actually around here when it was being built. And I'll show that part of the house to you. We call this our growing room. Now, right now it's being refurbished too. But if you go back in our videos, you'll see that this is a total area where we start all of our plants. Over in that table there is where we start all of our hydroponics. And we're just trying to figure out what we want to do here. We just cleared out some plants that were in here. We brought our freeze dryer in here because freeze dryers shouldn't be operated in real hot temperatures or real cold. And it was in our garage, so there was a lot of time we couldn't use it. And we store a lot of food, freeze dry a lot of different kinds of food. So yeah, this room will look totally different here in a couple more months. And we just put our little incubator in here, which can't stay there when we start planting. And a lot of our potatoes went to seed. So it looks like we got starters for sure now. So anyway, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Our house is pretty basic. We have a lot of stuff in here that isn't the way we would decorate it, but we're slowly changing that. We want to change the carpets out and change the drapes and get our own colors and stuff in here. But in the meantime, one step at a time. So let me get my puppies back in here. Hi guys, you want to come in? Where's your sister? Well, we lost your sister. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the tour. Let me see. Cinder! And I don't know where the other dog... Oh, there she is. Way out there. Alright, this will be a while before she gets back to the house here. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the tour. If you have any questions or I didn't explain something to you, or you wonder how we do certain things, just use the comments below. So thanks for watching, and please take the time to like and subscribe and share our videos all over. And now you've seen the entire 5 acres. This video is made possible by RangerRob Poopy Bags, available in Amazon right now. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.